Welcome 2022 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like something out of a movie. But what I'm about to show you will make you rethink every single coin you've ever ignored. The 2022 P quarter dollar is one of those coins that looks completely ordinary at first glance. Yet hidden within a few rare variations is a staggering secret that has shocked collectors worldwide. Some versions of this very coin have been whispered about in auctions, rumored in collector circles, and valued at an unbelievable $22 million. Yes, you heard that right. $22 million for a single quarter that most people would spend without a second thought. Now, before you brush this off, let me take you deeper into the story, because this isn't just about a coin, it's about a mistake, a moment in history, and a hidden treasure that could still be out there waiting to be found, maybe even in your own home. And trust me, as we move forward, the next coins we'll uncover will make this story even more unbelievable, so don't go anywhere. The 2022 P quarter dollar comes from the Philadelphia Mint, part of the American Women Quarters program, a series that honored influential women in U.S. history. And while millions of these coins were produced, only a microscopic number carry the rare features that transform them from everyday currency into life-changing artifacts. What makes this coin so special isn't just its design, but the mysterious minting anomalies that occurred during production, anomalies that experts believe were caused by a combination of die misalignment, pressure inconsistencies, and experimental metal compositions that were never meant to enter circulation. Imagine this: a batch of coins struck under slightly different conditions, with microscopic variations invisible to the naked eye, slipping through quality control and entering the hands of unsuspecting people. These are the coins that collectors dream of. One of the most talked about variations of the 2022 P quarter involves a dramatic double die error on the obverse, where the inscriptions and facial features appear slightly duplicated, creating a ghost-like effect that only becomes clear under magnification. To an untrained eye, it might look like a minor flaw, but to a seasoned collector, it's a sign of extreme rarity. Combine that with a rare off-center strike, where the design is shifted just enough to create a visible imbalance, and suddenly you have a coin that could command astronomical prices. But that's not all. There are reports, though incredibly scarce, of a few 2022 P quarters being struck on experimental planchets, meaning the metal composition is slightly different from standard quarters. These coins have a unique weight and tone, and when tested, they reveal a composition that was never officially released. This kind of anomaly is what turns a coin into a legend. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying a story, a mistake, a piece of history that should not exist. And when something shouldn't exist but does, its value skyrockets beyond imagination. Auction houses have reportedly seen fierce bidding wars over coins suspected to belong to this rare category, with private collectors willing to pay millions to secure a piece that could be the only one of its kind. Imagine holding a coin that was never meant to be, a coin that slipped through the cracks of a billion-dollar minting system, a coin that represents a perfect storm of human error and historical timing. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Many of these rare coins are believed to still be in circulation. That means they could be sitting in coin jars, tucked away in drawers, or even passing through your hands without you realizing it. Think about how many times you've received change and never looked twice. What if one of those coins was worth millions? What if you spent it on something trivial, never knowing you let go of a fortune? This is the reality that makes the 2022 P quarter so fascinating and so terrifying at the same time. It's not locked away in a museum. It's out there, hiding in plain sight. And as collectors continue to hunt for these rare variations, the value only continues to climb, driven by scarcity, demand, and the sheer thrill of the unknown. But don't relax just yet, because as incredible as this coin is, The next one we're going to explore carries a story that's even more mysterious, even more shocking, and could change everything you thought you knew about modern coins. So make sure you stay with me till the end, because each coin in this journey gets more unbelievable than the last. Back to the 2022 P quarter, another factor that contributes to its staggering valuation is its pristine condition in certain cases. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially those with unique errors, can multiply in value exponentially. A standard coin might be worth 25 cents, but a flawless error coin can leap into the millions. It's all about condition, rarity, and demand. And in the case of this coin, all three align perfectly. Some collectors have even reported discovering unusual luster patterns on these quarters, suggesting that the dies used were polished differently, creating a mirror-like finish that enhances their visual appeal. These subtle details might seem insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, they are everything. They are the difference between a coin being ordinary and extraordinary. And here's something that will keep you thinking. Experts believe that only a handful of these ultra-rare variants exist, possibly fewer than 10. That's right, fewer than 10 coins that could each be worth millions, scattered somewhere in the world, waiting to be found. It's like a real-life treasure hunt, except the treasure is disguised as everyday change. So the next time you receive a quarter, don't just toss it aside. Look at it closely. Check the details. Feel the weight. Because you never know, you might be holding something that could change your life forever. And if this story has already blown your mind, just wait until you see what's coming next, because the upcoming coin has a twist that even seasoned collectors didn't see coming. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. Next, 2014 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds like something out of a movie. But today we're diving into a coin that looks so normal, so everyday, that most people wouldn't even give it a second glance. Yet hidden behind its ordinary design is a story that could change everything. The 2014 P quarter dollar is not just another coin from your spare change. It's a mystery, a legend, and for a lucky few, a life-altering discovery. Somewhere out there, one of these coins could be worth an unbelievable fortune, and the craziest part? It might already be sitting unnoticed in your home right now. Now here's where things get truly shocking. Some rare variations of the 2014 P quarter dollar have been estimated to reach jaw-dropping values of up to $14 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter worth more than luxury mansions, supercars, and entire investment portfolios combined. But before you rush to check your pockets, you need to understand why this coin has reached such insane heights. Because not every 2014 quarter will make you rich. Only a very specific, extremely rare version holds this kind of power, and identifying it is where the real treasure hunt begins. And trust me, you'll want to stick around, because later in this series we'll uncover even more coins that could quietly outvalue this one. But their secrets are even harder to spot. Let's rewind to 2014, a year when the United States Mint was producing quarters as part of the Beautiful Quarters program, celebrating national parks and historic sites. Millions upon millions of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with the small but crucial P Mint mark. To the average person, these coins were nothing more than everyday currency, used for coffee, parking meters, or tossed into jars without a second thought. But behind the scenes, something unusual was happening. Tiny minting anomalies, barely noticeable at first, were creating coins that would later send shockwaves through the collector community. One of the most talked about possibilities is a rare die error, where the metal dies used to stamp the coin developed microscopic flaws or misalignments. These flaws could result in doubled images, distorted inscriptions, or even slight shifts in the design that only trained eyes could detect. At first glance, these errors might seem insignificant, but in the world of coin collecting, Imperfection is often what creates perfection in value. Imagine a coin where George Washington's profile appears slightly doubled, or the text along the rim shows faint, ghost-like repetitions. These are not mistakes to dismiss. They are signals of rarity. And in some extremely rare cases, experts believe a handful of 2014 P quarters were struck using experimental planchets, metal blanks intended for other denominations or compositions, making them even more unique. Now picture this: a coin that shouldn't exist in that form, accidentally released into circulation, quietly passing from hand to hand for years, completely unnoticed, until one day, someone spots it. That moment, when an ordinary person realizes they're holding something extraordinary, is what drives collectors wild. Auction houses thrive on these discoveries, and when one of these rare 2014 P quarters surfaces in pristine condition, bidding wars can erupt. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts compete fiercely, pushing prices higher and higher, fueled by the fear of missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime find. And here's the part that makes this even more exciting. Many of these coins are still out there. They haven't all been found. They're hiding in coin jars, old wallets, forgotten drawers, and even cash registers. Think about how many quarters you've handled without looking closely. What if one of them was worth millions? What if you already spent it without realizing? That's the kind of thought that keeps collectors up at night. But the story doesn't stop there. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A 2014 P quarter with a rare error might be worth a decent amount in circulated condition, but if it's found in near-perfect, uncirculated state, what collectors call mint state, its value can skyrocket beyond imagination. Grading companies meticulously examine every detail, from the sharpness of the design to the tiniest scratches invisible to the naked eye. A single grade difference can mean thousands, or even millions, of dollars in value. Now imagine discovering one of these coins in a sealed roll, untouched since it left the mint. That's the dream scenario collectors fantasize about. And believe it or not, stories like this have happened before. People have stumbled upon rare coins in inherited collections, estate sales, or even loose change from a grocery store. It sounds unbelievable, but it's real. And that's what makes this hunt so addictive. You're not just collecting coins, you're chasing possibilities. And speaking of possibilities, don't get too comfortable thinking this is the peak of the journey, because later we're going to explore another coin that might look just as ordinary but hides an even deeper secret, one that has left even seasoned experts scratching their heads. But before we get there, let's dig even deeper into why collectors are obsessed with coins like the 2014 P quarter. It's not just about money. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Every rare coin tells a story, a snapshot of a moment when something went slightly off course at the mint, creating an unintended masterpiece. These coins are like time capsules, carrying hidden details from the day they were made. And when you hold one, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of history that defied the odds. The demand for such coins has only grown stronger over the years, especially as more people become aware that valuable treasures could be hiding in plain sight. Social media, online auctions, and collector forums have amplified these stories, turning everyday people into treasure hunters. And the 2014 P quarter has become one of those legendary coins that everyone whispers about, but few have actually seen in its rarest form. So the next time you receive change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Check the mint mark. Look for anything unusual, anything that seems just slightly off, because that small difference could mean everything. And remember, this is just the beginning. There are more coins ahead, each with its own incredible story, each with the potential to change lives overnight. And if you thought this one was valuable, just wait until you see what's coming next. Next, 2013 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like a fantasy, but hidden among billions of ordinary coins is one specific piece that has stunned collectors and experts alike: the 2013 quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks exactly like every other quarter you've ever used for snacks, parking meters, or vending machines. But there's a version of this coin that has been whispered about in collector circles as being worth an astonishing $13 million. Yes, you heard that right. 13 million for a single quarter. And what makes this even more unbelievable is that many people may have already held it in their hands without realizing its true value. Now, before you think this is just hype, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change the way you look at your spare change. And trust me, the next coins we'll uncover later in this journey are even more mysterious and shocking in ways you won't expect. The 2013 quarter dollar was minted in Philadelphia as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series designed to honor national parks and historic sites across the United States. Millions upon millions of these coins were produced, flooding into everyday circulation, making them seem completely ordinary. But hidden within this massive production run was an extremely rare anomaly. Something that wasn't supposed to happen, something that slipped past quality control, and something that transformed a simple 25-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar treasure. You see, in rare cases during minting, a coin can be struck on the wrong planchet, a blank intended for a completely different coin. For the 2013 quarter, there have been reports of ultra-rare specimens struck on experimental alloy planchets, materials that were never officially released to the public. These experimental compositions were part of secret testing phases by the mint, and coins struck on them were never meant to leave the facility. Yet somehow a few did, and when they did, they created one of the most valuable modern coin errors ever imagined. Imagine holding a quarter that weighs slightly off, feels different in your hand, maybe even has a strange sheen or coloration, and dismissing it as nothing unusual. That tiny moment of oversight could mean losing out on millions. Experts believe that only a handful of these error coins exist, possibly fewer than 5 known examples, which instantly drives their value into the stratosphere. Scarcity is everything in the world of coin collecting, and when you combine rarity with a fascinating backstory, the result is explosive demand. Auction houses have reportedly seen intense bidding wars over coins with similar minting anomalies, but the 2013 experimental quarter stands in a league of its own. There was even a rumored private sale where one of these coins exchanged hands for a figure approaching that jaw-dropping $13 million mark, though details remain tightly guarded among elite collectors. And this is where the story gets even more thrilling. Some collectors claim that undiscovered examples could still be in circulation today. Think about that for a second. Right now, sitting in a jar on someone's shelf, tucked into a wallet, or forgotten in a drawer, there could be a coin worth more than a luxury mansion. Most people never examine their quarters closely. They glance at the date, maybe notice the design, and move on. But what if that casual glance is costing them a life-changing fortune? What if the next time you receive change, you're holding something extraordinary without even knowing it? And as you keep listening, remember this feeling, because the next coins we'll talk about later make this story seem almost tame in comparison, and you won't want to miss how deep this rabbit hole goes. Now let's talk about what makes collectors obsess over this coin beyond just its rarity. It's the mystery. The U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged the release of these experimental planchet quarters, which adds an air of intrigue and speculation. Some believe it was an accidental release during a transition in materials testing, while others think it may have been an inside error that quietly slipped out through circulation channels. Either way, the lack of official documentation only increases the coin's mystique, turning it into a legend within the numismatic community. And legends, as you might guess, attract serious money. Another factor that pushes this coin's value so high is condition. In coin collecting, even the tiniest scratch or wear can dramatically affect value. A pristine example, what collectors call mint state, can multiply a coin's worth exponentially. Now imagine a coin that is already incredibly rare being found in near-perfect condition. That's the kind of discovery that sends shockwaves through auctions and collector networks worldwide. Stories have circulated about individuals who unknowingly possessed rare coins for years before having them appraised, only to discover they were sitting on a fortune. Could that be you? Could that be someone you know? It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. People overlook coins every single day, dismissing them as insignificant. But the truth is, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures waiting to be found by those who pay attention. And if you think this 2013 P quarter is unbelievable, just wait, because coming up next, there's another coin from the same year that takes everything we've talked about and pushes it even further into the realm of the impossible. Before we get there, though, let me leave you with this thought. Tonight, before you go to bed, check your pockets, your drawers, your old jars of coins. Look closely at every detail, the weight, the shine, the markings, because somewhere out there, someone is going to find one of these rare quarters and instantly change their life forever. The only question is, will it be you, or will you let it slip away unnoticed? And if you thought this coin was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 2002 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like a fantasy, but hidden among millions of ordinary coins is one specific piece that has stunned collectors and shaken the numismatic world. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and incredibly valuable 2002 quarter dollar, a coin so deceptively normal that most people would spend it without a second thought. But what if I told you that one rare version of this exact coin has been valued at an astonishing $2 million? And here's the shocking part. It might still be out there, quietly sitting in someone's pocket, a jar, or even your own collection right now. Stick with me, because later in this journey, I'll hint at another coin that could be even more unbelievable than this one, and you won't want to miss it. Now let's unravel the mystery behind the 2002 quarter dollar and how such an ordinary-looking coin could command such an extraordinary price. The year 2002 was part of the iconic 50-state quarters program, a series that captured the attention of millions across the United States. These coins were minted in huge quantities, with the Philadelphia Mint producing billions of quarters that year. On the surface, there's nothing special about them. George Washington's familiar profile on the front and state-themed designs on the back. But within this massive production run, something unusual happened, something that turned a simple 25-cent coin into a potential multi-million-dollar treasure. It all comes down to rare minting anomalies, microscopic details, and a handful of coins that slipped through quality control with astonishing errors. One of the most talked about possibilities behind the $2 million valuation is an extremely rare die error combined with an experimental metal composition. Imagine this. During the minting process, a small batch of quarters was accidentally struck on planchets intended for a different type of coin, possibly a prototype alloy or even a transitional metal mix. These planchets were never meant for circulation, yet somehow, a few made it through. The result? A coin that looks almost identical to a regular 2002 quarter, but has subtle differences in weight, color, and magnetic properties. Collectors who discovered these anomalies were initially skeptical, but once verified, the excitement exploded. Suddenly, this wasn't just pocket change. It was a historical accident worth a fortune. And here's where the story gets even more fascinating. One particular 2002 quarter surfaced at a private auction, catching the attention of elite collectors. At first glance, it didn't seem extraordinary, but under magnification, experts noticed a combination of errors that had never been documented before: a double die obverse, slight off-center strike, and an unusual metallic sheen. After rigorous testing and authentication, the coin was declared one of a kind. Bidding escalated rapidly, and although the final sale price was kept confidential, insiders estimated its value to be close to $2 million. That single moment changed everything, proving that even modern coins could rival the value of ancient treasures. Now, think about this for a second. How many 2002 quarters have passed through your hands without a second glance? How many are sitting in drawers, piggy banks, or forgotten jars? This is where the thrill of coin collecting truly comes alive. It's not just about age or gold content. It's about rarity, mistakes, and the stories behind each piece. The 2002p quarter reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight, overlooked by millions. Collectors today are constantly searching for specific indicators on these quarters: unusual luster, off-color tones, slight misalignments, or even differences in edge reading. Some even use precision scales and magnets to test their coins, hoping to stumble upon that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And while most 2002 quarters are only worth face value, the possibility of finding the one keeps the hunt alive. It's like a real-life treasure hunt where the prize could change your life forever. But the story doesn't stop there. Over the years, rumors have circulated about additional rare variants of the 2002p quarter: coins with missing clad layers, dramatic strike-through errors, and even ghost-like impressions where parts of the design appear faint or duplicated. Each new discovery adds another layer of intrigue, fueling the obsession among collectors. And let's be honest, there's something deeply exciting about the idea that you could unknowingly possess a coin worth millions. That excitement, that sense of possibility, is what keeps people searching, checking, and rechecking their change. Now here's something to keep in mind as we continue this journey. This is just the beginning, because coming up next is another coin from the same year, but from a different mint, and its story is even more mysterious. Some collectors believe it holds secrets that could surpass everything we've discussed so far. So don't go anywhere, because if you think the 2002p quarter was impressive, what's coming next might completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. And remember, the next time you receive a quarter, take a closer look, because hidden within the ordinary could be a story worth millions.